Sunday morning, I'm on my way to the shop to get the morning papers, and I'm looking for one story in particular. Did you see them absolute numpties in Chelsea shirts surrounding the referee in that centre circle huddle? I mean, seriously, come on. Look, I'm expecting quite a lot. I'm looking to see if the written media is any different to the online media today as well, with the stories going in, the Arsenal story, City, Pep. Is there going to be anything of United in the papers today? We will see ahead of that crunch game at Old Trafford this afternoon. Let's see what we've got. Right, let's get in, let's see what we got. Here we go. There has to at least be one image of that Chelsea huddle. Oh, what's this? Spurs. Well, I think we can gather Spurs definitely being in the headlines. I forgot about them actually. I don't think anyone's expecting much from them today against Liverpool. And that was the Mirror. No look in there. Whoa, mission possible. I love it. United back in the papers. Lots of talk on them. Let's try the Sun. So what else we've got in here? Oh, look at that. Pep title U-turn. He says race is still on despite draw. Oh, he's changed his tune, has he? Okay, let's see if we've actually got anything of that Chelsea huddle, by the way. There's got to be something in here from that. Right, so it wasn't in the normal part of the newspaper, but look at this in the pull-out section. There it is. Look at that, stuck in the middle with blue. Numpties, honestly. I said it last night on Twitter, actually. When I seen them doing that, I thought, you know what? You deserve to lose the game. And they lost it. Fancy doing that. Who in their right mind? I mean, look, call me dinosaur age and call me one of them types of fans if you want, but can you imagine Roy Keane actually talking about that? Like, honestly, he wouldn't even say anything. It'd be the look, wouldn't it? Like, what are you doing? As a captain of the football, a captain of Chelsea, to surround the referee before the game. Anyway, that led into the other story in the other paper, Mission Possible. Michael Carrick, big game today at Old Trafford. Carrick was talking in his press conference about United being able to do this. The written media, obviously from the embargoed version of that press conference, have been able to write their stories from them questions that Michael Carrick was asked on Friday. So that's out in the papers this morning. And he has been quite open about what he's been doing at training, not really bothered, or saying that the lack of games has affected United. And it's all about today. You've just got to get the result. Manchester United are in that position now where it's just about results, and it is all about what happens on the pitch. No one else really cares about anything else. We know we're not going to get any changes. We know that we can't sign anyone until the summer. So when these games do come around, they're even more important, and the papers are full of it today. United are back playing, and the Sunday papers have got United back again. It seems like a lifetime ago since I was actually saying that. Anyway, into the other stuff and the other stories, and just bear with me a second. Let me get out of this tunnel. I'm going to show you the Manchester City story because this is big. I'm actually going to do a bigger piece on this on Adam FC on Pep Guardiola. But if I just get to the actual bit here, bear with me a second because I'm just going to have to flip a page up here, but I'll just show it you here. I mentioned it in the shop there a minute ago. Look at that. Pep title U-turn. I'll just read out the opening lines to this. Pep Guardiola saw his Manchester City side gift Arsenal a 9-point lead, but warned the title isn't over. I mean, seriously? Come on. I mean, we look at what Pep Guardiola said, or listen to what Pep Guardiola said, for instance, in that press conference before the West Ham game, and he was quite clear in what he said when he went on to say that if City didn't win that game, then that was it, title race over. Arsenal went and beat Everton, they went 10 clear, and they could only manage a draw at the London Stadium. They're out of the race. It's out of their hands now. Pep Guardiola has all of a sudden backtracked on what he said. He thought he was being clever. I'm telling you this now. In my opinion, Pep Guardiola thought he was being clever by saying that the title race was over, thinking that that would play on his City players' minds, and that old City Pep Guardiola mentality would actually win the day, and they would go out and prove to everyone that this title race isn't over. They bottled it. They completely bottled it, and the papers are full of it. The papers are all saying the same thing. Pep Guardiola U-turning because his plan did not work. And that has completely backfired on him. And I think this is why now we're looking at Pep Guardiola. And like I said, I'll go into more detail on this on a separate video, but I think the Pep Guardiola era is over, personally. I think he's lost his touch. I think he is getting bored. I think he's exhausted. And I think there's so much that is going wrong for him now at Manchester City. And don't get me wrong, he's still great. He's still doing great numbers, competing at the highest level. But to the levels that he set, that has changed. And this is not the same Manchester City side anymore. Moving across to Arsenal, obviously, Arteta. Wow, a horrendous 90 minutes of football. And then he makes that substitution, which has clinched the league title. I'm not just bigging up Arteta here in this at all, but there are moments in seasons, and the papers are full of it today, the Gyökeres and Max Dowman substitutes from that game against Everton. It changed everything. They were flat, they were lethargic, they didn't look like they had that winning and that cutting edge that they've usually got. Battle all the way to the end. And then managers earn their corn when they make changes, when they see things not working out. And Mikel Arteta, I hate to say it as a United fan, has earned his corn this weekend. And that substitute, I'm not just saying it because it's the next coming of Paul Gascoigne or whatever, Max Dowman, 16 years old, breaking all sorts of records. I'm not saying it because of that. The importance of yesterday wasn't Max Dowman. The importance of yesterday was actually that win for Arsenal in the title race, because nobody cares about Arteta or Max Dowman if they don't win that game. Nobody's talking about that kid. All that mattered from that game was that Gyökeres goal and that winning goal. The headlines will be Dowman 16 scoring at the Emirates, blah de blah, fantastic, and it is. It's brilliant to see, and it's great for the look of English football in the future. But Mikel Arteta, I think, has to take the plaudits for that today. He's been called boring. He's been called everything, myself including, slagging him off. I think yesterday in that game against Everton, that substitution has just won him his first Premier League title. I have to say it, 9 points. They're not losing that with 8 games to go. And as long as they don't capitulate after the City game at the Etihad, which is, I think they might lose it, but Arsenal will still cling on now. And that's how important that goal is from Dowman. So the papers lauding up Dowman, but I think they've missed the trick. I think they've missed out on Arteta with this one, because he should also be taking some of the plaudits for that yesterday. Sometimes managers got to do what managers got to do. And bringing on a striker that has been criticised, that you spent a lot of money on in the summer, and a 16-year-old to change your game at such an important moment of the season, takes a bit of bottle. I hate to say it, it paid off. Liverpool are going to end Igor Tudor's career today. It's all over the papers today. Their injury list is horrendous. They are going to get battered at Anfield today. And I think the papers are trying to get ahead of it, because tomorrow's papers are going to be full of yet another sacking in the Premier League this season. That will be Igor Tudor at Spurs, the worst appointment in Premier League history for any manager. This is probably worse than De Boer at Crystal Palace. And what's being written today is obviously the inevitable, because Ornstein's already preempted that Spurs are looking, and it was already going to happen. I actually don't even think, going off what's been reported and what's been written, that he stands a chance if he gets a draw or something. I don't think they'll stick with him for that. I think they've already made a decision. I think by tomorrow we'll know who the candidates are, who's coming in, and it'll all break tomorrow. But I actually see Liverpool smashing Spurs to pieces today. The biggest game is United versus Villa. Of course it is. It's always United. It's always the biggest game. Massive for the future of United, because the media will need United in that Champions League next season, because it makes it all the more exciting in the summer, because United will spend more and they'll have more columns filled and more clicks on the websites because of Manchester United transfer news. So they actually want Manchester United to do well, because Carrick's giving them nothing, and I love it. Let me know what you think. Get into the comments. Is the title race over? Has Pep lost it? Can United win? And is Igor Tudor going to get sacked tomorrow? This is the paper round. It's Adam FC. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe. Comment below. I'll see you in the next one.